Walkaround family, welcome back to another video. Today we have a 2019 Honda CR-V Touring in gunmetal metallic with gray interior. Back in 19, this was fully loaded. We're gonna start off with the front fascia. First thing you'll notice is big chrome in the front grille, which kind of peeks into underneath the headlights as well. And the Touring gave you full LED headlights. So full LED wasn't standard previously. I know they're standard on the CR-V now, but previously it wasn't. So you had to go up to the Touring to get the LED high beam, low beam, turn signals, and daytime running lights. Also, on the 19s, the fog lights weren't LED yet. I think the hybrids became LED, and I think these became LED eventually when they did the refresh, when they changed up the front end a little bit. But this is regular light bulb up front. You got a little chrome piece down below. You have some flat black, some silver. The radar for the Honda Sensing sits right below the H. That's what that little box is for. And a lot of people prefer this generation over the newer one as far as looks. I feel like this is just a timeless look, but the newer ones do look a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more in your face. So this is gunmetal metallic, which you can't get this color anymore, the new CR-V, and it's a beautiful color. Look at all the flake in there. One of my favorites. And you do get 18s on the Touring. So on the 19s, this was the wheel design before the refresh, and the tires are actually 235 60 18s. If you got a, I think the EX and EXL were all 18s, and the LX were 17s, if I'm not mistaken. And then when they did the refresh, they went up to 19s. I could be wrong. We're gonna look at the brochure. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember here. But look at the side profile on the Touring. I want to say Sport Touring so bad, but just Touring. There was no Sport Touring back then on the CR-V. On the side mirrors, you can see body color up top, LED turn signals, flat black down below, and this one does have body side molding on the side. So this is something you can add as an accessory when you bought it new, kind of help you with door dings. The Touring also gives you chrome on the bottom portion down here as well. So if you got anything below the Touring, you didn't get all this chrome on the CR-V. Around the windows, you can see all chrome, and the Touring also gave you a roof rail standard, and all you have to do is add the crossbars. If you got any level below this, you didn't get that guy. Coming along to the rear, signature CR-V taillights, where you have the lights going up the pillar. Right up above, you do have your shark fin style antenna, and it is body colored. Your window visor is full body colored. It's black underneath, but the top part is full body colored. On the newer CR-Vs, it's kind of like half body color, half either flat black or gloss black. You do have your LED brake light. Instead of it being a clear lens, it's full red. And one thing a lot of people dislike on the new CR-Vs that the previous one had was LED turn signals. So this has LED turn signals, LED brake lights, and your reverse lights is regular bulb. On the new CR-V, it's LED brake lights, but the turn signals and the reverse lights are regular bulbs. Not a big deal to me, but a lot of people complain about that in the newer CR-Vs. Your windshield wiper, your rear one, is exposed, big chrome on the back of the tailgate, big H as well. And you have CR-V in chrome, all-wheel drive. And you have your Touring badge that you know you don't have a regular CR-V. You got the fully loaded model. And if you're looking down below, you can see the bumper is flat black with some silver to break it up. And you get exhaust tips, which is cool. So when Honda did the refresh, these exhaust tips went like more rectangular instead of a circle. I love how the circle looks, which is pretty cool. And the newer ones, you have no exhaust tips at all. And there's no parking sensors on here. They did add that, I believe, on the Touring hybrid CR-V, but the non-hybrid didn't get parking sensors. On the side mirror here, you do have blind spot monitoring on both side mirrors, which is standard on the Touring. And here are the keys for the Touring. So you have the older style Honda key, which is more blockier than the newer ones. You have lock, you have unlock, you have remote start, and you do have a power tailgate as well too. You were able to get a power tailgate on the EXL or Touring, and close that guy back up. You do have a panic button, and you do have a key built in the fob itself, and you do have memory seats. That's why you have driver 2 or driver 1 behind the keys, because you can save your seat position and your side mirrors and some of your settings to a key. So since you got these keys, you do have smart entry. So you have these little lines right here, you tap it, It will lock all the doors. If you put your hand in there, it'll unlock the door. And before we fully get into the interior, I want to show you guys the gas cap. Pull that guy down there. So on the newer ones, there's no lever to open the gas cap. You just push the door and it'll open. But this guy was before they changed that up. So it is capless, but you can't open it from here. You have to pull that lever. And walkway auto lock is on, so you probably heard it beep just now. Let's take a look at the interior. So this is the gray interior. And on the door, first thing you're gonna notice is that kind of that wood style piece. I believe EX and up had that standard. Some customers loved it, some didn't. I have some people complain about that, some didn't. But soft touch up top. You do have the, like I said, the little fake wood look. This is soft touch and soft touch, real padded as well. And you did have auto up down for the front windows. You hold it for the rear. On the newer CRVs, EXL and up, I believe is auto up down for all 4 windows, which is nice. Power locks, power mirrors. Here's your buttons for your memory seats. So you have 2 position memories, and it's only on the driver door. Taking a look at the seats. So here's the gray interior, like I was saying. And for the hybrids and the newer CRVs right now, you can't get a full gray interior like this unless you get a non-hybrid. If you get an EXL, you can get the full gray interior like this. But if you get a hybrid, it's going to be the half black and half gray. It is power on the driver's seat, so you have forward and back. You have up and down. You can adjust the thigh portion right here up and down. I mean, it'll just tilt the seat. And then you have forward and back for your seat. And you had a 4-way lumbar support. So on the newer CRVs, you only have a 2-way where it's in and out. On previously, you had up, down, in and out. Not sure why they got rid of these 2, but they did. On the passenger seat, there's also power on the Touring. You have forward and back for the back of the seat, and that's it. So the 4-way power, no up and down. Taking a look at the Touring CRV. So I started Honda in 2016. So I started right before this generation came out, and I remember when these first came out, it was very popular. It's still popular now, being as pre-owned. This one has like 43,000 miles on it. And on the left side over here, you do have your air vent. And why is it closed? Look at that. Try to kill me in here. So you have the air vent, and you can lock and close the air, and you still have that little piece of that wood trim going along here. And you have your sea of buttons over here. If you road departure mitigation button there, you hold this to open and close the trunk. You have your automatic braking button there. You can hold that to turn it off, and your traction control on and off. Like I said, if you got a hybrid, you also had parking sensors over there as well too. So coming along to the steering wheel is leather wrapped, nicely stitched as well. And you do have some gloss black in the middle, some silver piece on the side, same thing in the middle of right here as well. On the left side, you do have phone control, so answer, hang up, and voice command. You do have your volume control. You have your D-pad here, up, down, in and out, up, down, left, right, and then enter, because you can't change the information on that screen down there. And this is the information button where you can quickly access the different options on here. So this screen, I believe, is like a 5-inch digital screen, if I'm not mistaken. I'm okay trying, oh yeah, there we go. I'm trying to get this focused. So you have temperature on the left side, gas on the right side. And if you hit the information button here, you're able to cycle through different options. So you have your gas tank, like range and speed and what you're averaging. And you have your compass, because you do have built-in navigation system in the Touring. Your attention level, so if you're awake enough to drive, all-wheel drive, torque, oil life, music, phone control, so contacts, speed dials, things of that nature. And you can switch the speedometer to kilometers or back to miles per hour if you could leave the country, because the speedometer is digital on this generation. And you have your tachometer up top as well. Easy to read, easy to use. On the right side, you have your cruise control button here and some of your Honda sensing features. So you have your adaptive cruise control here, you have your lane keep assist here, and then your regular cruise control with main on and off. Easy to use. Behind the steering wheel, you have off, parking light, auto, and on, and then you do have fog lights. The newer CRVs don't have fog lights anymore, so you still have fog lights on the previous one. That's the switch for that. And on the right side, you have, for your wipers, off, auto, low, and high, because this has rain sensing windshield wipers. That's something you got on the Touring that you don't get in lower trims. And then for the rear wiper, you have off, intermediate, and on. So comparing to the newer CRVs, very similar layout. If you've had one of these and you jump into a new one, you kind of know where everything is at. So coming along to the display here. Now the newer CRVs get a 9-inch display or a 7-inch display. I believe this is also a 5-inch display. I could be wrong. When we get to the brochure, I'm gonna double check. But I think both of these are or 5-inch display. This one is touchscreen and it does have a built-in navigation system in there, so you can see. It is actually, I believe, a Garmin navigation system. Oh, I thought it was gonna load up. But yeah, I think there's a Garmin navigation system. This is the Honda's older navigation system, so I think the Ridgeline still got this. The Passport still got this for 23, but maybe for 24 they might change. And I'm gonna go back to home. So you have your dedicated shortcuts over here. So you have home, map, audio, phone, and this layout has been around since, I think the Civic got this back in 2016, and then Honda just had this Honda Link system in all of their Hondas until they changed to the new one, and then Accord got their own one as well. But real easy to use. You can customize it. It's not as intuitive like the newer one, but it's simple. Navigation, phone, settings. You do have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You do have to plug your phone in to use that feature though, but no wireless, but you still have that feature. You have your audio, information, Honda Link, and app, and you can customize it to however you want it. It's really cool. Right up above, you have air vents, hazards right up there, and you have the volume knob, so that's the only physical button you have for the screen up here. And then your climate control is all physical buttons, which is cool. So you do have dual zone, so if you turn the sync off, this person could catch on fire, and you can stay at low, and that person can be at 79 degrees. If you turn on sync, then you're controlling both sides. You do have auto climate control on and off. You do have a fan button here and a climate button here because I believe 17 and 18, maybe is it 17, 18? Or is it 16, 17, 18? I think it's 17 and 18 CRVs didn't have a fan button. If you want to change the fan, you had to do everything on the screen. It didn't have a volume button either. If you want to change the volume, you have to do everything on the screen. So the 17s and the 18s, a lot of people complain not having a volume button and not having a fan button. So for 19, they brought the fan button and a dedicated climate button, which is actually pretty cool. But you do have on and off. You have your air circulation there, front defrost, heated side mirrors, heated back glass. You do get heated seats, high, medium, and low. Same thing on the passenger, high, medium, or low. But you didn't get any cooling seats on the Touring, and you don't get any heated back seats on the Touring, and you still don't get that till today as well. You did get electronic parking brake, brake hold. Here's a transmission lever here, so park, reverse, neutral drive, Sport, and L. If you got a hybrid, then you get the push buttons. But I think the hybrids actually came out for 19 too. I think 17, 18 CRVs didn't have a hybrid till 19. And then you do have the Econ button here as well. Put into reverse so you guys can see the backup camera. So you do have a multi-angle backup camera. So this is a wide angle, and look how wide it is. Like there's like Chevy Sonic right here, and you can see Sonic is like literally right there. And then the second option is normal, so it's looking straight back. See how you can't see the Chevy Sonic as much anymore? Look how wide that is. And then you have a top down, so you can see directly down. So you can see what's below the rear window back there. And then you have cross traffic on and off. So cross traffic will alert you when there's a car coming from that way or from that way. And sometimes it just detects people, but it's mostly for cars. You have the Econ button on the right side. You turn that on. It'll make the air go down a little bit and make your throttle response a little bit less sensitive to help you save more on gas. Right below that, you have your power outlet. So I believe for 21, when Honda refreshed the CR-V again, they moved I could have sworn I think they moved the power outlet to inside, and inside your I don't even know what to even call this. Inside your little storage bin in here, you have two USBs. They moved the USBs to out here when they refreshed the CR-V. But you do have cup holders here, storage down there, two USBs. So that first one is a 1.5 USB-A. That's what you use for Apple CarPlay. And the second one is just for charging and another power outlet in there. And this guy, you have this little tray right here, which is cool. You open this up, you can either have your storage in there, or you can pull this tray back, see in there, or you can take this whole thing out. When Honda refreshed the CR-V, they got rid of this tray and went with a two-piece sliding tray. When I get a refresh, I'm gonna show you guys when we walk around one of those. But yeah, and this moves up as well. Nice, ooh, nice and soft. Love how that feels. And you do get a glove box over here that's lockable on the Touring, and it is damped. It's not lined, but it comes out slowly. More of that wood finish over there, and you can see some of the tweeters that you get on the Touring, because the Touring did give you more speakers, more wattage, but it wasn't a aftermarket system like Bose or anything crazy like that. The newer CRVs get Bose now in sport Tourings, but before, all what you were paying for is for better wattage and more speakers. Coming up here, you do have your auto dimming rear view mirror, and you don't have HomeLink on the mirror because HomeLink is actually standard on here. And then they eventually went to the mirror. But with the newer CRVs, HomeLink is not standard anymore. So a lot of changes from this generation to the current generation. You have your map lights, and they're not LED, regular bulbs. And you do have your visor up here with your regular lights too. Not LED, but at least they give you a light. And they got a sunglass holder slash who threw that Cheeto mirror as well. And I'm over here, and I'm not even aiming at the right thing. And you do get a power moonroof. So on the 19 CRVs, EX and up will give you the power moonroof. And then we're gonna jump out here and get into the second row. One thing about CRVs is how wide the door open. That's almost 90 degrees. So it's easy to get in and get out. And on the rear doors, it mimics the driver door. So you do have hard touch, not soft. This is soft, this is soft, and this is soft as well. Just the top part is not soft. But I like how you have the speakers in the door, you get a little tweeter, you have some storage down here. So you have a bottle holder and additional storage. And the grate continues back here. Now on the EXLs, like I said, leather seating. And you do have the car seats, hooks, but they're a little bit more in here. On the newer CRVs, they change it where it's exposed. You can see the hooks. Here, if you see this little gray piece, you know it's right underneath it. But let's get back in here. And plenty of room. This is why you buy a CRV instead of an HRV. A lot of leg room, a lot of headroom as well. And you do get air vents back here on the Tourings, and you get 2 USB A's. The USB A's are standard, I believe, EX and up. If you get an LX, you get the vents, but no USB A's. And for 23, CRVs came with no USB anything back here on EX and up. And then for 24, they changed that. The Touring don't give you a map pocket behind the driver, just one behind the passenger. But you can see headliner is gray as well with the gray interior. And then you have one light back here. You have your little handles back up there. Not really much going on back here. These seats are fixed. They can't move forward and back. There's no bar underneath. But your rear passengers will be comfortable back here as well. And on the new CRVs, they allow you to recline the rear seats about 8 different positions. On this generation, it was only 1. So it goes back 1 and that's it. All right, so let's jump out of here and let's actually take a look at the cargo space. So power tailgate. The power tailgate is adjustable as well, so you can hold it and adjust it to how high you want it to open. And really wide back here as well. Now on the newer CRVs, you are missing these little handles right here. You can pull the handle and it will drop the seat down automatically for you. Also on the 19s, you get this cargo tray was standard as well. I know with newer ones now you have to add this. They're not standard anymore. You don't have the handles. And the rear seats fold flat. And this floor is about like 3 inches lower than the seat itself, but it does have an adjustable floor, so you can pull it. I just raised the floor just now, and now the floor is flush with the rear seats. That passenger seat is actually kind of back, but you can see it's a little bit more flatter. The newer ones have like a little hump right here. Not sure why, but they do. But previously, though, you had this guy, and you drop it down, and you can have, a little bit more height if needed as well. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. So we got a blast from the past, and from time to time, I'm going to be making these videos where we go back in time and actually do some older Hondas and do some walkarounds. Now, 2019 is, I'll say, is the first year where Honda got rid of the brochure. And if you guys don't remember the brochures, look at my last quarter video. I think I did one showing you guys the brochure. So when 19 came around, brochures were gone. And Honda started doing these trim walk things when it comes to looking at different models and stuff like that. So here's a 19 trim walk that I pulled up, and this is going to have all the models on there now. LX was the base model for the 19s, and I think 2020 Honda put the 1.5 turbo in every CRV, even LX. But when this generation first came out, it still had the K24 iVTEC 4-cylinder, 184 horsepower, 180 foot-pound of torque. But that doesn't matter because the touring that we're doing right now is the 1.5. So pretty much you have the LX, you have the EX, and then you had the EXL, and then you had the touring. The touring is an upgrade from the EXL, and this is what the Touring added versus the EXL. So HD radio, the built-in navigation system. You did get a better sound system. So you get a 330 watt premium audio sound system with 9 speakers with a subwoofer in the Touring. Actually, in EXL, I think EXL and EX got the same system. So yeah, it's a 180 watt system with 8 speakers. Let's go back to LX real fast. LX had less speakers, I think, less wattage, if I'm not mistaken. Where are you? Where are you? LX had 160 watt 4-speaker system. All right, so jumping back to the Touring though. So the roof rails were standard on the Touring. If you get anything below it, you have to add roof rails and crossbars, or you were actually able to add crossbars by itself without the roof rails. But I think the roof rails allow you to have 100 more pounds of storage on top, or the things on top, than you can without the roof rails. You have the automatic wipers, which are the rain sensing windshield wipers. The full LED headlights. I remember first seeing these at first because anything below the Touring had projector beams, but I think they were halogen, if I'm not mistaken. And then your daytime run lights was LEDs. But when I saw these, I was like, yo, those are fire. And I actually personally owned a 2020. Was it 2020? Or was it 22? No, it was. Was it 2020? I can't even remember. Yeah, so we owned a 2020 Touring CRV, and we had the refresh, and then 21, 22 was the same, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, these were a game changer. And I even mentioned this in the video. You do have a hands-free power tailgate, so you can kick underneath the bumper, and if your hands are full, it'll open and close for you if you kick underneath the bumper. So you can kick it to close, kick it to open. And you had the dual chrome exhaust finishes, which were my favorites. I didn't like when they refresh it after this one, that rectangle tips looked weird. And you get exclusive 18 alloy wheels. And this is interesting because the EXL and the EX got the same exact wheel, just a different color. On the Touring, it was gloss black, and I think on EXL and EX they were gray or something like that. But pretty interesting. Now, since I don't have a brochure and I can't build one to show you guys the color, I jumped into this guy, which is on Honda Info Center, where you can pull this up as well. So the colors on the 19 CRV, you had Bosque Red, Pearl 2, which had either gray, it's a gray only, either leather or fabric, depending if you get LXEX or EXL Touring. Get the Crystal Black Pearl, which only came with black interior. We have the dark olive metallic. I forgot about this color. It was like a really, really dark green. It was actually a beautiful color. Only came with black interior. Gunmetal metallic, which we're reviewing right now, which only gray interior. That's crazy. Like, Honda didn't give you too much interior choices. Lunar silver, which gave you black or gray. You have modern steel, which gave you black or gray. Modern steel and gunmetal look so similar. Like, I don't count because I've been around these colors so much, so I can see the difference. But the average person would not know the difference between gunmetal and metallic. But gunmetal, to me, had a little bit more blue-gray in it than the modern steel. So actually, you can see here, like, look how this is more gray and this is more bluish. That was the big difference, but the gunmetal was a beautiful, beautiful color. But yeah, modern steel, black and gray. Molten lava, a very controversial color, because it was very red orangey and some people hated it, and it only came with the tan interior. So I mean ivory, not tan. And ivory was like really close to beige almost. Well, lighter than beige, but yeah. But yeah, a lot of people like this. A lot of people, so fun fact, when I got into sales, the first car I've ever sold was I think it was a 17 Touring Molten Lava CRV. That was the first car I've ever sold, and I will never forget it because it was a very nice couple. They had a Range Rover Evoque, I think, and they hated it because blind spots, and they had to keep getting fixed, and they traded in, got a CRV, loved the CRV. And then you have Obsidian Blue, which is one of my favorite colors, gray, gray interior only, and Sandstorm Metallic. So this color right here looks nothing like Sandstorm. Like, it's so funny. But Sandstorm was more like a very beige sand. It was brown. A very nice color. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people hated it. Just like Molten Lava. But you have the ivory. And then Platinum White Pearl, you have the option to get the ivory or the black. So a lot of color options on the 19s. This is bringing me back. I remember these colors like just like yesterday. It's so cool. Like I sold so many of these 19s, well 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s, 21s, 22s. So many CRVs. CRVs are #1 seller. But that's all the colors on the CRV. So we're gonna end everything here. If you guys enjoyed the walk around, if you enjoyed the blast from the past, drop a comment below, drop a like, let me know, because I'm gonna do more of these. I actually enjoy going back in time and doing these older Hondas. It's pretty cool, and I want to get to the point where I'm doing like old Hondas, like 90s, 80s, like really old, early 2000s. So that's gonna be the game plan for the channel while we're still putting out new cars out there too. So I'm gonna end everything here. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm gonna catch you guys at the next walk around.